while I'm on that hobby horse, then you have to look after them, because vandalism is a problem with parks in Goulburn, and when things get damaged, the council take it away. They don't fix it. They just say, well, if we fix it, they'll only damage it again, so why waste the money and take it away? And eventually things just fall into rack and ruin. This area here is called Riverside Park, and these black poles, you can see the solar lighting put in winter time, obviously. People want to run in the evenings. I'm not sure how many people do that. Nevertheless, people want to walk their dog in the evening, and a good way of getting people out of their houses in the summer is daylight saving hours, and using the paths. And just anecdotally, from my point of view, I have no statistics of people I see on these courses. There's been past a few people while I've been running today, but most days now I see these paths being used. There are people on them, so it's like that Kevin Costner movie, if you build it they will come. If you put a good facility like this rather than just an uneven mud track, people will start exercising, and even if they're only walking, at least they're doing something. So back to the running story. My apologies for all of this disjointedness. Instead of sticking to one theme when I'm talking, things come into my head and I talk about it, and I forget whether I finish telling a story or not. And a bit like old Grandpa Simpson, it'll all be a bit boring. An old geezer out here running on the track, rambling on about his life stories. Nice view over the top of this hill there towards the river. Park run resumed. I can't remember, it was late last year or early this year, and during that time that I clocked up that 25:13. Some weeks I've gone backwards. I haven't done better than that, obviously that's why it's PB. But week before last I came pretty close to a 25:37 thereabouts, so I thought that was pretty good. Most weeks I try to run 3-4, 5 times a week. When I run, morning, I just use a path or a track or a route. I go over in my head the night before, because I've done most of them so many times and I know them pretty well, and I just run that course. Obviously I want to do it in a good time. Obviously I want to do it well, but it's mainly just to say I want to run this course. I don't set out to run a certain distance, although I know often how long the course of the track that I'm running is, and I don't go out with a particular time in mind, but I would like to do a good time, of course. I've watched a good few videos from the running channel on YouTube and other places like that, they give you technical advice about running. But I don't. I know you're supposed to do your long run and your recovery run and your sprint training and stuff like that. I don't do a lot of that, not because for any particular reason, I just don't do it. Just get up and go, well, I'm going to go running, and away I go. Sometimes I get out on a track that a route that I've set out for myself and think I'm going to go this far, do this loop, it's going to be about this, and at times I get it, most of the time I just push through any discomfort or whatever. Other times I can feel something in my body saying, oh, okay, you've done enough, it's time to head home. Not that I'm short of breath, because your body's got into the routine. Like it has now. It's just that the legs start to feel it, or some of the longer runs I've done, 18, 19 Ks, start to feel a bit sore in the stomach, and I'm not sure if that's because I run a funny way or a constant sort of twisting of your body a bit. I mean, it's not like I'm doing the hula, but your body's turning sideways a little bit and feel a bit sore, so figure, well, okay, time to cut the losses and head in. Just coming around another one of those zipper things that we call it here, and down on my left there, Gibson Street pedestrian bridge. Just the same, I'm not one for stretching and warming up before I run. And again, people have their views about that. They say a lot of videos about running, and a lot of them say don't do those static stretches before you run, because you'll injure yourself, or you might. Use your first couple of Ks to sort of get yourself warmed up. I'm not offering technical advice to anybody about how to run. I have no expertise in that area. I just am saying what I do. Others, they know what's good for their body and their way of running and all that, and they do whatever it is that they do. So throughout the week I run, or when I run, I just do, like I said, tracks that or routes that I know, mostly on these made paths. There's quite a lot of it around Goulburn now. When you're on these tracks, obviously not dealing with the traffic as you would be on the roads, and trying to cross intersections, or in some cases held up by traffic lights. Or one of the courses that routes that I run, got to crest the railway line at Blackshore Road, and some days when you get there, most days when you get there, it's open. In other words, there's no traffic, no train going across, but I've been caught once or twice there, a 30 or 40 car goods train going past, and whilst that's Good, because you get a bit of a break, catch your breath and whatever. So all the runners know you hate to have your rhythm interrupted, and you can actually feel your legs in particular starting to cool down. And so the break is both a blessing and a curse. So all of these runs that I do during the week are just what I consider to be training runs, and the big event is the park run on Saturday. A little park here, I can't remember the name of it, picnic tables, some swinging, toilet block, play equipment, and a bit of a mini skate park. Over on my left hand side is the Charles Sturt University School of Policing, which I think is a fancy way of saying it's the police academy. Heading towards the second of the two bridges in the two-bridge run I mentioned earlier. This is the second of three bridges in town that cross the Wallandilly River. This road here, thing on the side of the bridge that I'm on now is called McDermott Drive, named after a bloke who used to be the mayor of Goulburn. On the other side of the bridge, which we see straight ahead, it's called Victoria Street. You keep hearing me mention this park run thing. If you're a runner, you'll probably know what it is. If you're not, I'll explain it to you. The park run is an international event that is free. There's a place where you go and register, and every Saturday morning at New South Wales it's 8 o'clock, Queensland it's 7 o'clock, Tasmania 9 o'clock. Can't be sure about the other states. You turn up to the venue, which in our case is at Marsden Weir, where we saw the water cascading over the weir earlier, and it's a free timed event, and you run a 5k track. In our case, ours is 2.5k out, turn around and come back again. The reason you register is because when you register you get a unique barcode, and at the end of the event you get a finish token which also has a barcode, and somebody with a mobile phone does a technological mumbo jumbo, scans your finish token and your barcode, and your time is recorded. Later on in the day you'll receive an email at the email address you registered. It'll tell you what your time for the event was, what position you came overall, how many runners there were, or how many participants there were, and it'll tell you your position according to whether you were first, second or third male, or 15th male, or first female over the line. Don't ask me what happens if you're transgender, I don't know. And then it gives you a percentage rating that compares your finish time as a percentage of the record, not for your track, but I think the record for internationally accepted record for parkrun. Here in Goulburn, I would say we probably have an average of about 80 runners. Summertime, a few more. Wintertime, obviously a bit less. The last couple of events have been down to the 60s. There are serious, really serious runners, like the first guy who crosses the line. He finishes in about 17 minutes. I think his PB might be 16 and a bit minutes. I like to think of myself as a serious runner now, that is serious about the event. There are other guys who run in actual properly staged races with seamless and bib numbers and all that. I don't do that yet. But there are other people who come who just meet their friends and walk and talk. Traffic is you've got to contend with when you're crossing roads, clearly. There are people who bring their dogs and just do it for, meet their friend and chat and whatever. There's a thing known as parkrun tourism, where people go from their own home parkrun to another parkrun just to experience somebody else's course. It's a very friendly community. There are people that I see every Saturday, sort of say hello to and shoot the fat with before or afterwards. There are people that are like myself that are regulars, and some of those I set my eyes on and say, I want to try and keep up with you. I use them as a pacer. Other people